Marketing company MBLM releasing its 2017 Brand Intimacy Report, ranking brands by emotional attachment to their customers. Joining us right now is Mario Natarelli. He's the managing partner of MBLM. Mario, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So your report looks at 6,000 consumers, 54,000 brands in the U.S., Mexico, and United Arab Emirates.
400 brands, 54,000 brand measurements or associations.
Tell us about the report.
Well, we think it's an interesting report. First of all, we think that it's important to look at brands by emotion, because we think that ultimately when you decide to buy a product, you do it based on emotion. So we see a lot of brands that are ranked by revenue or by financial measures or by satisfaction, but we don't have a lot of studies that look at brands from an emotional perspective like this one.
You know, I have a question about this, because as a researcher who has studied the election for the last two years, I think one of the key factors that polling missed was the emotional connection to the candidate, to their messages, to the resonance. I think that's why we were able to see things in Donald Trump that Hillary Clinton, and frankly, there was much tighter emotional connection with Donald Trump than there was Hillary Clinton. What kinds of attributes do you think are the most important to measure on emotional resonance or attachment there?
Well, they vary by brands, and brands like people are, infinitely varied. We see brands like Apple that do very well with enablement. They make you stronger, more connected, smarter. Brands like Amazon, which did very well in this year's study, is very good at fulfillment. Brands like Netflix are strong at things like ritual or indulgence. So it varies depending on the brands, and there's no right answer for everyone. The point of this is to find out what is your right mix as a company, as a brand manager, or as an executive, and then leverage it fully.
Let's go through the list. Based on your findings, the third most intimate brand, we'll go 3, 2, 1,
sure,
was Amazon.
That's right. Yeah, strong performer in previous studies as well. This is a company with a lot of great tentacles in data, in retail, obviously, and growing in electronics, and now in content. So this is a brand that's really spreading its impact and growing a very strong, loyal user base.
Now, I could understand that in terms of emotional around Amazon.
Yeah,
people love their Prime.
Yeah.
What's interesting about it used to be the more you advertised, the more you got FaceTime, etc. But that's not what your study is showing here, right?
Yeah,
You're showing
that's right.
There's different attributes as opposed to just spending a lot of time and TRPs on TV, advertising, etc.
Yeah, that's not to say that those methods don't have a place, but in today's marketing, push is really not necessarily the only way to win. We think that pull is just as important, and if you're going to draw your customers in and form strong bonds, we think that there's a magic formula to success there.
Yeah.
So really understanding how do you do that, how do you really gain a reciprocal relationship with your customers is at the root of this study.
How important is star quality in representing these products versus the product performance in and of itself?
Do you mean like a sponsorship?
Yes.
I think that, again, is subject to certain brands may take good advantage of that, others maybe not necessarily need it. Many of the brands that you see ranking at the top of this list don't really have star power behind them.
So second most intimate brand, Disney. What is this company, why does Disney resonate so much?
This is an iconic brand, strong on image archetype. It's also the top performing brand with millennials, which for us was very surprising. We think that's got to do with, one, the fact that it's broadening its appeal with the acquisition of Marvel and Star Wars. You see at the top end of the millennium age bracket that new moms are starting to factor into the decision. And Disney's a brand we've all grown up with. It's a brand that is kind of warm and dear to our hearts.
And then analyzing 54,000 companies, you've determined that Apple is the most intimate brand.
Yes, once again, Apple is the poster child for a brand that's hitting on all cylinders. This is a brand that has the highest frequency. It's the brand that most people cannot live without. It's the brand that does best across all demographics, young and old, both genders, male and female. In fact, it does better with females than men. And also works effectively across geographies.
The brand with the most to lose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, and companies need to worry about fulfilling the customer's expectations.
Yeah, delivering on the promise is really key.
And real quick, year over year, while Apple's still #1, is it failing versus last year?
I think all of the scores have come down. We think that's a general mood of America. It could be an election-related mood that drew the scores down this year. But
yeah, blame Trump. No, I'm just
But they are down a little bit.
They are down year over year a little bit.
Yeah.
Mario, good to see you.
It was great to be here.
Thank you so much, Mario Natarelli, joining us there.